who's expected to stay cold and possibly snowy, and who's going to see a warm up. For anyone who's been keeping up with my videos, you should know this by now, but the east is expected to stay cooler than the west. We are having a ridge building up in the west and some troughing in the east, and of course, if you're stuck there in the middle, you're likely to be around average as we move into March. Pushing farther into March, we are still expecting the northeast and portions of the southeast and midwest to stay cool. This is our European snowfall map through the first week of March. Now, of course, the end of this run is not going to be perfect, but our European model is the best model with predicting snow. And it's no surprise, up here in portions of the Midwest and New England, that's where it thinks we're going to continue to see some good snow. There's been a lot of snow in northern upstate New York, New Hampshire, and Vermont, and it's expected to continue. I know some of those Vermont ski resorts have tons of snow on the ground, and actually March on average is your snowiest month. And I expect that trend to continue this year. What we're seeing down here to the south is something that's showing up at the end of our model runs right now. So this could change. We need some more time and some more updated model runs. One thing is consistent across these models as we approach the end of the first week of March, and that is an omega block setting up. Of course, we call this an omega block because it looks like the symbol omega. We're seeing a consistent signal around this time frame of some warm air at the mid latitudes building up over Canada, up over Alaska, and then you can see what's happening out here over the Atlantic, which this would be a signal of a negative NAO. This is a pattern that can promote some snowstorms pushing down through the Rockies, sweeping through the southeast, and then up the eastern seaboard, or potentially through the Midwest. An event like this happening at the end of the first week of March or into the second week of March is possible. As a whole, we've had one of the coldest winters in the US, especially out east, that we've seen in decades. And that has led to our surface temperatures actually being much cooler than they usually are this time of year. This can promote some colder air to push down south and some more wintry-like conditions as we move into March. There is something happening really over the next 10 days with our stratospheric polar vortex that would lead me to believe we're not going to see a big dip in our polar jet within the near future. We can see this polar vortex beginning to strengthen and move up to the north. This will allow that cold air to build up in the Arctic and some warm air to slide under. But as we push back into March, we're seeing a stretching of this vortex once again. Again, this is pretty far out. These models do better at predicting macro events like this than micro events like where precipitation is going to fall in a couple weeks. But if we were to see something like this happen, again, it just increases the chances of us seeing potentially some big winter storms and potentially some of them down to the south as we move through March. Listen, our atmosphere is extremely variable and always changing. And my goal is to just keep you guys updated on what I'm seeing and what I think it could lead to. Right now, it does look like as we approach the end of the first week in March, something significant could happen with our weather pattern. And I'm going to keep staring at these maps every day and looking at the data and letting you guys know what's going on. I appreciate you watching this video. If you like this type of content, feel free to throw me a follow or sub. I make posts like this every single day and I stream every single night. On the weekends, sometimes I stream during the day. I will be streaming right after I post this video. I'll see you in the next video.